Hello there, you beautiful people. My name is Willow, and welcome back to WorldBox. This is the third installment of a series where we try and find the best race. Last time, we eliminated the elves, goblins, and lizards from competition, and today we are wrapping up the series by using
Capitalism
and all of its glorious
competition
to determine who is the best of the best and who is the best of the rest. Let's go ahead and get into the action, starring the humans versus the dwarves and the orcs versus the Hive.
Let the competition commence.
Alright everybody, welcome to the semifinals. We're going to be kicking off our semifinal one-on-one competition today with the humans versus the dwarves on the map Four Corners. I've changed it up a little bit. This map is made by Mad Marvin over on the Steam Workshop. Go check it out if you want to get it for yourself. There's a few minor differences. One of these areas was originally jungle. I decided to change it into the grass biome, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. And we're going to start by spawning our two factions. We're going to start with the humans. We're going to place them up here, kind of in this corner area. I think right about here will be good. And then we can place the dwarves, and they're going to be in much the same kind of position. So right about here for the dwarves. And we're going to go ahead and get the dwarves and the humans up to 15 each, and from there we're just gonna go ahead and go straight into a time lapse right after we look at the map a little bit more. And we're probably gonna change up the names of everybody. So let's see, the Wa Imperium. You know what, actually I like that name, but I don't like the name of this kingdom. We're gonna change it to the Dwarves. Oh, that was caps lock, everybody. The Dwarves of Doom. All right, there we go. The Dwarves of Doom versus the Wa Imperium, and that will be pretty cool. So what we have here, and one of the big things that's going to decide how this match goes for either side, they're both pretty equidistant away from this area in the northwestern corner. It's a blessed area. I feel whoever gets here first, or whoever can take over the majority of this land, will have a great start for their kind of area. I think this area is actually called Enchanted, but they'll have a great start. They'll be able to get in to this area, get the blessed trait, which really can help you out. We also have over here the Savannah area, so there's a couple of options and things that could go poorly or could go well for both sides here. And I just noticed this. What do we have over here? It's mushroom over there. Okay, really quick, we're gonna just, to make sure this is all fair, we're gonna grab mushroom seeds, and we're gonna make sure that there's no blessed left over here in this little area, so that way the dwarves don't just automatically get a little bit of an advantage here. We don't want them getting the blessed trait from that enchanted area. And we'll just go ahead and give them some plants and some trees, and just make it all nice and tidy up in that area for those dwarves, and that will be all right. But you know what? The map, it's pretty cool, but we have a lot of WorldBox to be showing off today. Let's go ahead and set the time all the way up to ×5, or you know what? In fact, let's go to Sonic, and we will check in a couple of years just to see how things are going. We're starting off around year 570-ish, and we've already gone about 20 years in game. So yeah, let's go ahead and time lapse. Alright everybody, so we're about 100 years in. As I said, we started somewhere around year 570, we're now at 670, and the dwarves are off to a really strong start. I honestly thought the dwarves would be given a run for their money by the humans. I've actually come in and tested this multiple times. Both sides have an equal chance of winning. I put one human in one spawn area that I decided, and one in the other, so this is a completely fair spawn for both sides. The dwarves are really just doing extremely well, and I am super happy to see it happen. The dwarves are such an interesting faction, and I do like to see them do well. Let's go ahead and just check in on them, see how they're doing, see how the humans are doing, of course, as well. Love that architecture. Let's check on their king. Let's see what's going on with your king. View kingdom. Go ahead and show me the king of this kingdom. He is wise, he has a golden tooth, and he's a miner, of course. A barbaric gate clasher, legendary wooden hammer, which is very cool. Let's go ahead and check on the culture of the dwarves. We're currently level 12, 4.9 knowledge gain. We have armor production. They've got some boats and stuff going on, which might be useful for these rivers. We have hammers, weapon production, swords, house tier 3, sharp axes, and windmills. They're doing really well for themselves. The humans, on the other hand, haven't been able to really keep up with the overall population. Let's go ahead and view the king of this kingdom. He only has the curvy Dravo, which is a legendary stick. He is tough, fat, ambitious, wise, and golden-toothed, which is very, very interesting. Let's go ahead and view the culture of this kingdom. They're level 14, which I think is on par, or maybe it's slightly ahead of the dwarves, and they have much of the same stuff, opting for bows very early on, which is extremely powerful. Bows can do very, very well, especially in the early game. Just any damage that you can inflict without taking some yourself is going to be useful. Also have some like governance, and they're up to house tier 4, so the humans doing well technologically. They're just having troubles getting their population up. We're gonna go ahead and just go into another time lapse because I really want to get to the point where these two races are fighting each other, and of course to get into the action and see how they manage. All right, everybody, we're back. Sorry if the time lapse had a little bit of stuttering going on. The game, for some reason, in general, is stuttering right now. I'm gonna go ahead and check on that here in a second, but first let's check in on our two illustrious nations. The humans have really skyrocketed in population, nearing 1,000, whereas the dwarves, they've been growing kind of steadily, but they haven't been able to get past around 520 here, as we're seeing right now. And it's just kind of looking like the humans may actually, despite the slow start, be just very far ahead of the dwarves right now. Let's go ahead and just check in yet again on cultures. It's been over 100 years since the last time we checked in. They're level 38 already, 19.3 knowledge gain. Let's go ahead and compare that to the dwarves, 38 versus 36. The dwarves not too far behind. Tier 6 housing now available for the dwarves. What about the humans? Are they at tier 6, or are they ahead of that? Yeah, tier 6, I think that's probably the max level of housing, although I don't know for sure. And yeah, the dwarves really, I don't know what you all are doing, but like, breed more population. I need you all to have a lot more people, or a lot more dwarf kind, so that you can go murder each other with the humans, of course. Don't kill other dwarves. Also, just really quick, wanted to check the world laws just to make sure they're right. I'm pretty sure I set these up whenever I saved the world after the changes. And yeah, hunger, old age turned on, angry villagers, no rebellions. So everything is looking right. The dwarves, just for some reason, they seem to have hit a cap at some point, but I'm not sure quite what's causing it. Of course, there is still plenty of time for them to catch up and plenty of time for anything to happen. And really quick, I'm going to pause and we're going to have a quick edit, and I'm going to see if I can tell what's causing all of the commotion with the recording. But we will be right back into a time lapse in 3, 2, Alright everybody, so we have our first major development after a little while. The humans, they're the first to make it into the Enchanted Lands, and they're really expanding quite heavily out here. A few of these humans are going to start picking up the Blessed trait. Yep, there you see it, Blessed. Is it anybody who steps into this area immediately gets blessed? If so, very, very interesting. So, of course, Blessed gives them a little bit more HP. They're going to have to wait to regenerate that or get healed in some way, shape, or form. But that is, of course, going to be super interesting. The Dwarves, instead of pushing up towards the Blessed lands, have decided to expand out into the Savannah. And this might be one of the reasons they're having so much trouble. They just don't really have the same boon. And also, the humans have set up a colony really far away down here into the Savannah lands. And it's just starting to look like the humans are going to run run away with it. The dwarves looked really strong early on, but they've just kind of been lackluster in their expansion efforts. Of course, anything can still happen. We have seen some turnaround victories so far, and we will, of course, see how it goes. We're gonna just go ahead and time-lapse until a war is started. I'm not forcing them to go to war at any specific date. This is the semifinals. They have to declare war on each other, but one thing I'm gonna do is once war is declared, I'm turning off diplomacy. You all declare war, and it's the only war this world will have. So, let's go ahead and get into the time-lapse and wait until we see these two glorious nations fight it out to the death. Alright, everybody, so we have war declared between the Wa Imperium and the Dwarves of Doom. And we have our first battles kicking off between the Dwarves and the humans down here. Looks as though the Dwarves are getting quite aggressive very early, going into this savannah area, really just knocking out this entire human colony. And that's going to go very poorly now for the humans. The humans over here sitting with bows firing across the way. This water are going to make it a little bit difficult for the dwarves to continue their attack, but once they find a way over these hills, I would guess, they can continue fighting. Let's go ahead and turn on the army layer. Also, sorry for any stuttering. Apparently, when I go to Sonic speed, I get some stuttering now, so maybe we'll just have to do time lapses in ×5 speed. Huge fight going on down right here. Sorry for the camera work as well. I need to stop saying sorry. Oh no, it's looking kind of like the humans are just getting annihilated down here in the savannah. Let's go ahead and look around the rest of the map though. The humans now attacking the swampland of the dwarves, and the dwarves not quite able to say, get out of my swamp, like the famous Shrek once did. A couple of battles happening up in the Enchanted Lands as well. Just get in here, see some stuff going on. The dwarves being incredibly aggressive with their armies, and they're getting a lot for it, but now as the humans come to respond, they just have more armies on the map and they seem to be bigger. And overall, the dwarves are only about 600 population behind, and both sides are over 2,000. 912 military for the dwarves, whereas the humans have just over 1,000, so the armies are comparable in size, maybe 100 dwarves less than humans. And there's a large fight going on down here, all of these bows firing. Let's go ahead and slow it down even more just so we can get a little bit better looks at these battles. Really don't know what's causing all that stuttering. If anybody knows like some optimizations for the game, go let me know down in the comments. I'm guessing it has something to do with optimization, or maybe have some settings messed up in the game. A bit of fighting going on here. Seems an invasion of dwarves gonna be cleaned up very easily by the humans. And overall, both sides really going blow for blow. Neither side quite getting a distinct advantage, although there's a very large group of humans now down here, and they're having a grand time. They're having a swamp beach party as they kind of set out over here and have themselves a bit of fun, killing off some remnant structures, really just chilling. All of these tiny rivers making it a little bit harder for these armies to navigate. Of course, it makes sense here in this river area, or in this swamp area, kind of have a delta or a fjord over there. As over here to the east, some more fighting breaking out. Super interesting to see these huge scale conflicts, and we're just gonna keep on getting more of them as the maps are gonna get bigger from here on out, or at least the map for the finals will be bigger. The dwarves now taking some damage on their own territory. Most of the fighting has been relegated over here to the human area, and some in the blessed enchanted zone up here that also controlled by the humans. But the humans now starting a large invasion, and they're going through and they're destroying these outlying villages of the dwarves. They're wreaking havoc and pillaging the landscape. Good humans, continue to fight, continue to show me how competitive you are, because after all, this is a free market and we are here for capitalism, of course. We're trying to find the best of the best and the best of the rest. So continue your pillaging, continue your aggression, humans. And we will see who stands at the end of the day victorious and who falls by the wayside of history. The humans still just relentlessly attacking a town center about to go down over here. Do we have any kind of counterpunch coming out from the dwarves up here to the north? There's a bit of a raiding party. It's also getting a lot of damage down onto the humans. Seems as though a village is under attack. And yeah, these are dwarves. Unfortunately, both sides kind of have like this white armor, which I'm not quite sure about. Can I change your color? Can you? Okay, be pink. Why is the dwarves got white armor? Why is the... Okay, now I can kind of tell the difference between you all a little bit better. So here's a bunch of dwarves sitting over here, and they're starting to kill off a lot of the stuff in this enchanted area. If they can just push up and maybe get into this kind of main area that's occupied by humans, they could get a lot of damage done. Overall, though, the populations, it's the humans who are starting to kind of take a hit on population. They're down. They still have over 1,000 in their military, and they're still over 900 for the dwarves. But until some more kind of sustaining damage happens, we're going to do this, and we're also going to turn off random events. You all are at war until the end of time now. So, gonna have to see how it goes, and I'm just gonna go ahead and time-lapse because neither side able to get a decisive victory here in the first few years of combat. But we will, of course, wait until we have a victor. One second. I'm going into settings really quick, and I just want to see... Let's turn off VSync, and let's turn off... maybe shadows, and see if that helps out a little bit. And, yeah. Ambient sounds, smoke, fire. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna keep it like that for now. We're just gonna see if that helps it out, and we're gonna go to sonic speed until we see some large amount of movement on the map, one way or the other. So, we have our first large amount of movement. Both sides, population-wise, are just as good or bad off as they were just not so long ago. The first big thing is the humans have been completely ousted from this Savannah territory, so now this mountain range kind of being a natural barrier that the dwarves are going to have to deal with at some point. And over here, the swamp area has been dealt with, but I think it's going to be a lot harder for the humans if they try and take on the mainland. There's some sitting armies here that are going to be able to defend. Critically, though, the dwarves, their population really has been almost unaffected here. Their population has been very stable. They're over 1,000 in their army now, and it's over 1,100 now for the humans. Both sides amassing very large armies, and yeah, I don't know why the stuttering's happening, but I'm sure editing Willow can figure that out and fix everything for you. We're going to go ahead and just put it back on to ×5, maybe even throw it into sonic speed and continue until we see some more territorial advantages being made. But before we do that, wow, large invasion by the humans now showing up on the shores of the dwarves. That could be a sign of bad things to come for the dwarves. Do they have anything in the area to really deal with this? They do have some armies kicking around. How big is this army? It doesn't tell me. I'm not allowed to know that. But there's a decent amount of dwarves over here to try and defend. There's a few dwarven armies, and maybe they can just kind of stop this human invasion. But there's a fight now breaking out. It seems as though the humans firing over mountains to try and attack some of these dwarves, which is quite interesting to see. And it just seems as though neither side able to get a distinct advantage, but this is a lot of humans now down here. Of course, we could make the same kind of argument that there's a lot of dwarves in the Enchanted Zone, but the Enchanted Zone isn't like fully under control of the humans. The dwarves are just slowly, I think, trying to take over all of the Savannah, which is interesting. They're really not opting to really play for this, this area up here to the northwest all that much. And fights breaking out down here finally between some of these outlying dwarven structures. Are there going to be any armies showing up to try and help with this? It doesn't seem though. So where are all the dwarven armies, and why aren't they helping out their brethren? Why aren't they helping defend their own territory? Because this entire town now has just been pillaged and razed to the ground. Oh no, not good. Human army over here wiping out a dwarven army, and how's that going to look for the overall armies? Doesn't seem to affect them. Really feels like neither side can affect the other, but the humans have a lot of armies now in the territory of the dwarves. Let's go ahead and speed it up and see if that's going to result in anything of note. And just as I speed it up, we have a lot of things breaking out. So there's a ton of human armies now on dwarven lands, and they're fighting it out. But also on the human mainland, a bunch of dwarves landed, and they're just pillaging and razing and destroying all of this coastal area. All of these coastal little towns are just being set ablaze, and the dwarves are waging a campaign of death and destruction to the homelands of the humans. This could be a dire blow. If they throw a few more armies into this, get a few more dwarven soldiers out here killing off all of these original structures of the humans, could be massive. As the dwarves continue to fight it out, there's also been some movement over here. Some humans now in the mainlands of the dwarves. Seems as though there's not really much to respond over here at the moment, other than the dwarven villagers, which... that's not necessarily too much. You can't discount it entirely. They are somewhat useful, but it's gonna be very tough for the dwarves to completely deal with this without having their own army in place. But now that I look at it, the humans are slowly getting diminished over here by the dwarven villagers. But now the dwarves have finally fallen below 2,000 in population. The humans have also been dropping in population a little bit. Both sides still holding strong, but the humans are making large strides of progress over here in the savannah zone. It doesn't look like it because of the colors, but all of these structures are just being wiped off the face of the map, and the humans are doing very well for themselves. Let's go ahead and, of course, speed things up until we have a victor, I would say, so we can go ahead and get on to the next semifinals match. Alright everybody, so it's been quite a few years in the game, and of course, it's starting to look a little bit bleak. I think the dwarves are going to fall in the end. They just weren't able to deal with the population disadvantage. At points, they made it look really close. But unfortunately for them, they're now at half the population of the humans. They're trying to make inroads and get a lot of damage done, and right now they're having a very successful campaign in that northeastern corner. We're of course going to go until one faction or the other is wiped off the map completely. But it's just starting to look a little bit dire. The dwarves fallen down to 900, but they've just gotten back over 1,000, and they've really taken the fight to the homeland of the humans. I really am upset with this stuttering, and I don't know how to fix it, but I don't know. Even if I found a way to fix it, do I re-record this? I don't know, but nevertheless, the dwarves are putting up a huge fight. We're gonna just continue the time-lapsing ways until we get some kind of definitive winner. But yeah, I don't know why my rig is acting up. I mean, it's way higher than the requirements for this game, and it seems a little bit weird that it's stuttering. Probably gonna look into that just after this one before we get into the second semifinals match. All right, everybody. So it's coming to the end of an era. The dwarves, who did so well in our first episode, playing very tactically, are being brought to their knees and slain in droves. The humans are going to become victorious in this. The dwarves put up one hell of a fight. They wreaked havoc across the human lands, for years upon years. There were so many battles taking place over here. You can see that this enchanted area that used to be so heavily held by the humans has just been destroyed. The humans also have come back into the savannah multiple times, and both sides have paid dearly in this area. But the dwarves are down to 200 population, and the humans are at nearly 2,000. They have tenfold the numbers, and at a certain point, that's all that matters is, of course, the numbers. So we're going to go ahead and, of course, Sonic Speed to the end of this. And that is, once it's done, we'll be going ahead and transitioning over to the second match of the semifinals, which will be, of course, the Hive versus the Orcs on this very map. Moving on to our second set of semifinalists to see who can join the humans in the finals. We're still on four corners, and we have the Orcs versus the Lizards. Down here in the south, we have the Orcs taking up the position that the Dwarves were in last time. Let's see if they can kind of turn the tables and actually achieve some form of victory from this southern side. And up to the north, we have the Lizards, Lizzie's Legion, and of course, they are rocking the position the humans had last time, and the Orcs are called Orcs. So let's go ahead and get into it and press the play button and see how these two nations are going to get on. While we go ahead and go to Sonic Speed, I just want to talk. There's been some slight changes in between the two different recordings here, where I was recording the humans and the dwarves. I've disabled a mod to see if that helps with performance whenever we Sonic Speed, so that way we won't have any jittering in the time lapses and such, or any stuttering that we had before. I've also set my OBS to record using the graphics card instead for that same reason. And yeah, those are the only changes, but we're going to get right off here with a time lapse because we're trying to get to those finals very, very quickly. And of course, that is going to take some time. So time lapse until one of these factions expands into one of the other biomes. Alright, so we're about 100 years in now, and I just wanted to go ahead and check in on how they're doing. I said until one of them gets to another biome, and I was right about that. We have our first little four-way. Wow, I cannot say that word. I tried it in another video recently and couldn't get it, but technically there's some territory of the savannah now claimed by the lizards. And I also just wanted to check in. They had a bit of an issue where they lost some population. What are y'all guys doing? What are you dying to? This is grasslands. It should be easy. I'm guessing that this is hunger related. I mean, neither side got more resources than the other. I ran this map, tested it a whole bunch, made sure everything was somewhat fair. But the lizards are dying to hunger, I think, because you can see like waves of damage hit them. Yeah, you see they just go red. They're all just so hungry. Why aren't you eating? Why aren't you making farms? How much of a cheat? You know what? The Orcs are so incredibly strong. I'm going to help them out. I'm going to give them just some berry bushes. I'll give the Orcs berry bushes too, just to make it fair. But I'm just going to put berry bushes around so that they stop dying. The Orcs, you also get berry bushes, even though you don't need it. And yeah, we're just going to do that for now. But the Orcs are doing really strong. The Lizards started off a lot stronger than the Orcs. They got themselves really set up with a really good population boon very early on. But then the Orcs just didn't start dying from hunger randomly, so they just did better. And right now the Orcs, they're just building up. They have all of these villages. They got people going into mines. They've got their windmills. Wow, their windmills look really cool. And of course, everything else. There's this like little water fountain over here. Didn't even notice that when I was setting up the map. Very, very cool. Orc huts, these giant orc structures in the middle. The Orcs are doing well at nearly 200 population, but the Lizards, once I gave them food, they fixed their problems. Alright, so maybe that was a little bit weighted, but now if the Orcs win, it is 100% just because the Orcs are broken as hell. And we know they're broken, I'm pretty sure they're winning the tournament, but we are here to use capitalism to decide everything, and every so often, capitalism requires luck. And both sides got lucky, they both got free food. So, with that out of the way, we're just gonna go ahead and get back into another time lapse. And yeah, let's just see how they're getting along. Oh, there's a war! Or there was a war? Is there still a war? Wait, they were at war for like all of 5 seconds. Oh, okay, the lizards and the orcs are a lot more aggressive towards each other, and the lizards are really keeping up in population, but I'm not sure about their capabilities in the long run. I don't think they're quite as strong in a combat aspect of play, but they are expanding now into the savannah. I think they have their first structures here. Yeah, they have their little teepees. They're building their Mayan temples everywhere, and they're really growing in population. Also, it's going a lot smoother without that mod now. Of course, we didn't really see all that much stuttering or lag until we hit a few thousand, but a war has broken out, and oh my lord, the lizards are taking it straight to the orcs. They're taking so much damage. Huge battles are going down, and the lizards are really just going to town on the town of the orcs. All of these destroyed structures, and oh no, it's a disaster for the orcs. They don't have anybody in lizard territory. This is a fully defensive war for the orcs. Sure, they sent some stuff over to the savannah, but this is nothing. The lizards can lose this and just not care. The orcs, nobody claimed orcs were smart, and the orcs making a tactical blunder here, as all of their forces are over in the savannah, where the lizards are in the homeland of the orcs, and they have destroyed everything. Not the windmills! No! Not the windmills! They're so beautiful, don't hurt those! And the lizards just laying waste to the orcs, but their population is perfectly fine. The orcs don't mind taking this hit, whereas the lizards are losing on population. Gonna have to see if that's a continuing trend. The orcs really have a lot of armies in the savannah. I think maybe they're just comfortable here, or maybe they're like, they want like rhino hides or something. But not sure why they're over here. Doesn't really make a whole ton of sense to me. Also, for some reason, I think we have show kings and like diplomacy and everything turned off. There we go, we have the kings showing up. Speaking of the kings, and speaking of the cultures, let's go ahead and take a look. Lizards at level 24, which is respectable for just a couple hundred years in, versus the orcs at level 19. So the lizards have a great technological advantage right now. Let's go ahead and check on these kings. The king of the dwarves has regeneration. He's a savage. He's agile. He has bloodlust. He's wise and golden tooth, a symbol of wealth and respect. Meanwhile, the lizards over here, let's go ahead and check them out. Ambitious, weightless, regeneration, wise, and golden tooth. They're also very strong, and that's a sharp Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger? Is that how you say that? I don't know. It's dangerously close to a word you can't say on YouTube, but I did not say it, so don't cancel me, please. I'm sure that's a, you know what? Never mind. Screw it. Editing me is gonna find a way to edit that out, or I'm just gonna take the risk, whatever. The lizards are continuing to go. We're going to go in sonic speed, but I'm going to keep commentating here for a little bit. The lizards are just continuing to be on the aggressive, but they're falling behind in population, and now the orcs are really just coming into the lizard homeland, and it's actually looking quite bad for the lizards all of a sudden. Their homelands are now being destroyed, and they're down on population, and now a lot of damage is being done. You can see the orcs going through the countryside, destroying everything. The lizards really did take the battle to the orcs, and the orcs did not appreciate that, coming back to fight in kind. And the orcs are dismantling these forward and central villages all at the same time. There's 5-6 armies of the orcs here. I don't know why I keep on almost calling them dwarves. And it's just not looking very good whatsoever for the lizards. They're losing population at a staggering pace, and the orcs are gaining population. The lizards cannot keep this war up if it continues to go in the current trajectory that it is, nearly down into double-digit numbers of population. Unless peace is declared, I think that the lizards might just be taken out, and this one's going to be a very, very quick decision. The lizards coming out swinging, but they weren't able to back it up. They weren't able to deal a decisive blow to the orcs. The orcs are still somewhat struggling with battle tactics, you know, chilling out in areas that's a little bit useless, but I'm sure they'll get it together and the lizards will be knocked out relatively soon unless peace is declared. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Sonic Speed, and we're just going to time lapse and see if anything changes. But if nothing in this trajectory changes, it's definitely lizards going down very soon. Alright, the writing is on the walls. The lizards have fallen to 2-digit population, and it's going to continue to go down. They're putting up a much better fight than I thought they could with so few numbers, but the orcs are outnumbering them 6-1, and I think the orcs are probably better than them in one-on-one combat. So it's just a unfathomably hard mountain to climb unless peace is achieved. Wait, was peace achieved? Oh no, don't tell me. Are you at war? You're at peace with Lizzie's Legion? Lizzie's Legion may make a comeback. They got the peace they needed. All right, well then. All right, you know what? I'll let it happen. If the orcs blunder so hard that they let Lizzie's Legion come back, if Rourke's orcs are that dumb, then Lizzie's Legion deserves to be in the finalists because they used diplomacy, which is a big part of capitalism, to reach their goals. So, here we go. Time lapse again until another war breaks out, I'm assuming. Alright, so really quickly, the orcs have decided to populate the Blessed Lands, and that's going to be huge. So, orcs already have a lot of HP, and let me see if I can grab one here. With Blessed, this guy goes up. What level is he? What level are you? How do I check your level? Level 2. Okay, let's see if we can find a level 1 dude. Level 2, not useful. Okay, they're all level 2. 285 HP versus a normal orc. Did I say dwarf again? What's wrong with me? Versus a normal orc who is at 190 HP. So these orcs that are coming from up here, the ones that make it to the Blessed Lands, are going to be incredibly powerful. And since they're orcs, they all have regeneration. And they also apparently are killing fairies again, which means that a bunch of them are going to get the energized perk. Maybe that'll be a boon to... God, it's so loud. Maybe that'll be a boon to the lizards, because if they get enough deaths from this, the lizards may be able to rebuild. The lizards are back up to half the population of the orcs. They were outnumbered 1-6 at one point, and now they're getting close to being 1 versus 2. But the orcs are taking over the Blessed Lands so voraciously, and nobody is really going for the savannah, which surprises me because last time we saw a lot of work for the savannah going on. And Lizzie's Legion is making a comeback, and oh my lord, is this lightning loud. Okay, so we're gonna go back into a time lapse until war is declared. This time, when war is declared, I am not allowing them to back out of it. You get one diplomatic chance. I'm not sitting here all day. Alright everybody, so war has been declared just now, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go straight into the world laws. We're going to turn diplomacy off. They cannot back down from this war they have started. And we're gonna go into just normal ×5 speed. Actually, we're just gonna do it this way. And the battles are commencing. And I can't imagine it's gonna go well for the lizards. Yeah, this lizard army is about to be experiencing pain like which they have never experienced before. All right, let's see if anything cool happens. Is this at ×5 speed? No, it wasn't. It was acting weird. It was at like ×1 speed. And yeah, that lizard army was killed by a prince, and now the orcs, they just have to come and take it. And the lizards have lost half their population already. Huge battles going on, massive swaths of land being taken over, and the orcs have all but achieved victory. And we are heading on to the finals, which will be the orcs versus the humans. A tale as old as time, a song as old as rhyme. It's gonna be a banger. And let's go ahead and just time-lapse until Lizzie's Legion is no more. And with that, the end of an empire comes. Lizzie's Legion, they're counting down from 7 to 0. And we're moving on to the final match of this 3-part series. If you have ideas for new things we can do in WorldBox, let me know down in the comments, and I might take one of your ideas and try it out. And of course, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And the channel membership will allow you to get access to all of my videos just a little bit earlier than everybody else. So consider joining that, as that is more lightning because orcs cannot stop killing fairies, and Lizzie's Legion cannot manage to actually die yet. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into the final match that will use capitalism to finally decide which fantasy race is the best. All right, this is okay, never mind. Finally, they destroyed the village. Come on, give me the pop-up. They're dead, right? Come on. Okay, you know what? They're gone. They're gone. Lizzie's Legion got killed. We're done with it. Yes, there we go. We get the pop-up. I cared so much about that. Don't know why. On to the final match on the new map. The final map. It's gonna be the biggest one we've used yet, and it's going to be epic, so make sure to stay tuned. And here we are in the finals, the last bout of combat and competition. I've said that too many times this video, haven't I? But nevertheless, we have our two nations spawned, the Terran Republic humans in the south, and the Empire Orcs in the north. Of course, let's go ahead and check in on them, because it's year 1000 on this beautiful map Pangea, a little thing on the screen to show you how you can get it on the Steam Workshop right now. And of course, I've decided to spice things up for this very last bout of combat. One, I went ahead and did some changes to the map, changed some biomes, and let the world run until exactly year 1000, so we're in a pretty old world. And then I added in our factions, and each faction is going to start with 3 heroes, I'm going to call them. We have Lily. They all have Immortal and Regeneration. All the other traits were given to them before I was handing them out. So we have Lily for the humans, and in fact, we'll just go ahead and pull it up here. Millie as well for the humans, and then we have, I think it's Alex is the last human, yep. And that's our 3 humans for the Terran Republic, and then for the Empire, we have ourselves Ad, Ud, and Ed. So we have all of the D names over here. And let's go ahead and just start this off. We're gonna set the time to ×5 while I introduce the map a little bit. We have all of the biomes, and there are some pitfalls on this map. So, some of the islands have the kind of horrific spawns, such as this one, There's one down here with AI cores, and think there's another one. Oh, we also have this, which has cold ones spawning. So we have a lot of scary islands as well as a couple of candy islands. Both factions spawned very close to a blessed island, because I'm thinking if they go for the blessed island very early on, they deserve the bonus that they're going to get from that. But this is an iceberg-sized world, so it is big, and it's going to take a while for either side to even see the other side. We have a little bit of a lemon crystal kind of combo area here in the middle, and then we have some arcane sands and other, I think there's even some savanna over here, so this is going to be interesting as well. And then we have infernal and corrupted over here on either side of the map, so these factions can definitely get themselves into some trouble if they try and go in the wrong direction. But let's go ahead and get into a time lapse, and every time we end a time lapse we're going to go ahead and check in on, of course, the immortals that we have created. We have favorited them. Hopefully they live a little bit longer than than most others, but there's always that chance they die to something silly. So here we go. I need to go ahead and get back here to the settings, click the hamburger, of course, and then we have the debug menu, and we can do sonic speed and do a time lapse. Alright everybody, it's been about 80 years and something interesting is going on. The humans are trying desperately to take over this Cold One area, and this may be a huge pitfall for them. I spawned this and I thought I ran it for long enough, but apparently the Cold Ones have managed to spread ice all the way across, so it's trying to spread out and take over this area over here. Gonna have to see how the humans can combat this. If it becomes too much of an issue, I will just remove it. There are no Cold One spawns way up here to the north, but apparently there is something removing the cold? What is that? Oh, we have demons rolling around. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, neutral wildlife that can cause problems. I'm guessing the demons are coming from over here, and they're just constantly spawning. They're destroying this kind of central area, so there's gonna be a lot of fighting the environment. But of course, we're trying to use capitalism here to decide who is the best faction, and one of the things that you need to do in a capitalist free market is fight all competition, whether it be your main competitor or against some minor setbacks and such. So we're just gonna let it go. Both sides are having struggles. Apparently the demons really don't like the orcs right now. So yeah, the Terran Republic actually doing very well, and maybe here soon can have enough to kind of shut down this Cold One area. I don't know what this is even called. Is it an ice tower? Is that what it's called? Ice tower. Shut down that ice tower and really just lay in to the Cold Ones that are spawning from it. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and just get back in to our time-lapsing ways. Alright, so it's been 150 years on this beautiful map, and I want to check in with our immortals. So we're gonna start with Millie. Let's see how Millie's doing. Millie is now level 9 and is quite happy. How old is Millie? 172. Quite the old lady there. Ad for the Orcs is the king of the Orcs, in fact. And he is currently level 10 and doing very well for himself, grabbing up quite a few perks. Then over here we have Ed, also for the Orcs. He is level 8 and has 54 children. They're all gonna have a ton of children, aren't they? How many children do you have? 30. How many does the king have? 55. Just a lot of children. Lily has 29 children and is level 8. Let's go ahead and check on Ud. Ud is currently level 9 with 38 children, doing quite well. He's sad, but you know what? I can't help you with that. Alex is also sad. He is level 10 and he has 28 children. So yeah, that's how all of our immortals are doing. None of them have died just yet. I have been looking up here in the corner just seeing if they will die. And yeah, just back to Sonic speed. I mean, you know what? No, let's let it run at 5 times 5 speed and just look how they're developing. Yeah, they have some armies. Are any of them trying to expand to any of these islands other than, of course, trying to deal with this? Oh, they managed to take down the ice tower there. I don't know if that means this will unfreeze at any point. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Even if it doesn't, that might make it a little bit easier for them to kind of colonize this area. As we move north to look at the Orcs, which I feel we haven't really looked at all that much this time, they are progressing quite nicely. Have they gone to the Blessed Lands yet? No, they haven't, but they're so close. They have boats just outside. I think this is a fishing boat, though. I don't know how to tell what type of boat it is, but... Oh, is it dropping off people? Nope. Yeah, I think it's fishing. I think that's a net going down. And of course, they are just trying to expand out. They have some armies sitting around and they're catching up in population. They were massively behind before. They're still behind, but now they're catching up. I think they've dealt with their demon problem pretty well. They have enough forces to just kind of ignore it. And we are probably in store for a very, very long game. Both of these sides are very strong right now, and they're only going to get stronger. So yeah, let's just go ahead and officially do our next time lapse. Alrighty, so we're done with the time lapse and the humans have made a critical error. They have populated this corrupted land, which means that everybody here is cursed. And once they die, they turn into either a ghost or a skeleton. I don't know exactly which. And when that happens, that can really hurt the population. They die in waves over and over, and it just kind of becomes this never-ending kind of issue that you have to deal with. Also, they for some reason have populated the wasteland right here. I mean, they are doing a lot better on population. They are 500 plus population ahead. Right now, 600 as of the moment of speaking at any given time. But wow, are they really deciding to just go everywhere? It's very much so manifest destiny, I guess, or in general, the human ingenuity. We go places that sometimes maybe we just shouldn't have been there. The deadly curiosity and expansion of man. Such a philosophical debate to have. But the Orcs, on the other hand, they're not having any philosophical debates other than why the hell aren't you expanding more? They usually expand faster than a lot of the other factions, so I'm very surprised that the humans are doing so well with expansion and population. They nearly already have half of the map. Sure, down here, this is just a bunch of desert, and it's going to be a little bit difficult, and I do believe that this is the Arcane Sands. Like, I can just double check really quick and make sure it's not just normal sand. Let's see. If I... Oh. Is this Arcane Sands? Wait, 1 second. Or is this just like old school how you did desert? If it is, then great. If not, then that's a huge-ish... Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, I don't think I screwed the Orcs, but we're really quick gonna do some damage control here. And we're going to very quickly just rough in a very large Arcane Sands area in this general biome kind of that we're in right now. Hopefully I'm not destroying too many of their structures. I don't know if you can destroy structures by doing this, but we're just gonna rough in a whole bunch of Arcane Sands just to make this a little bit more useful land for the Orcs to conquer. And they should still have the advantage on conquering this area, so we're just going to do that. I know it's not necessarily pretty, but we will have to work with what we got because I'm an idiot and thought that this was Arcane Sands because it kind of looks similar, and then I finally zoomed in and realized, oh wait, no, that's totally not what this is. Maybe what we'll do to even help a little bit is turn on some biome overgrowth really soon. In fact, let's just go ahead and turn that on. Let's just let the biomes do what the biomes want to do. And of course, here we need to do some trees throughout this area. Not too many, it's still like a desert. And then just some plants throughout it. And there we go. That's going to be a lot more area for the orcs to get that would actually be useful for them. And yeah, that was dumb on my part, but we're all human, unless you're an orc, and let's go ahead and go back into a time lapse. But before we do, let's check on our favorite people in the world. I think we still have all 6 alive. Nearly 300 years old, really getting up in age. Level 12 with 39 children is Millie. Let's go ahead and check on Ad, the king of the orcs, still. Level 12 with 70 children. Ed, wow, and they're sitting on really good equipment, all of them. Ed, level 12 with 62 children. Is 12 the highest level? I feel like you can go higher than that. 12 with 38 children is Lily. Ud sitting on 12 with 50 children. And Alex sitting on 12 with 37 children. Is 12 the highest level you can get? I feel like that's not the case. I feel like they're just gaining levels at the same speeds, though. So they're always going to be close to the same level with each other. And now that that's happened, the orcs are rapidly expanding into these arcane sands. Yeah, sorry about that, orcs. Did not mean to give you all just an innate disadvantage by having less area near you that you could expand to. But a war has broken out, and we're turning off sonic speed again. We're just going to go into ×3, and the armies are marching across the world. A huge battle taking place over here. Oh, humans and orcs dying in droves. The battlefield is going to be stained with blood for many generations to come. But it seems as though the humans, with their overwhelming population advantage, are just going to be doing a little bit better in this fight. But the orcs, you have to remember, on one-on-one combat, they're so much better. So as more orcs kind of flood into this area, maybe they can push back. The humans have a lot of archers, though, and those archers really going to help out. They're going to get that free damage without taking much themselves, firing over literal mountain ranges right now. The orcs are starting to push back a little bit over on the other side of the map, and oh, this is completely separated. Oh, there's a river that leads into a mountain other than like maybe no, there's no way other than this little passageway, which makes this oh so more epic. And the orcs, they're coming over in a green wave and they're rolling over the humans. The Terran Republic is taking a huge strategic defeat here. They have more rolling in from the hills. Maybe this will lead to a stabilization, but this might just be an area where we have constant war for the years to come, as just absolute carnage is being shown on display here. So many dying and so much pain and grief gonna be caused by this very situation. Let's go ahead and check. Did any of our favorites die yet? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're all still alive. I don't know if any of them are in the armies, but there's a chance we're gonna lose some of our favorite people in the world. Millie, Lily, Alex, Ed, Ud, and Ad. And the orcs just demolish the force there and are annihilating the landscape now. They're coming in. They're going to be able to start killing off structures in a very short time. The humans need to field an army. What are the army sizes? 422 versus 264. The orcs are doing it, though. They're so grouped up and they're working together. The humans, all of their armies are spread out. So the orcs are just getting good numbers fights right now. Although the orcs have less to use, they are using it well. And oh my lord, it's just a bloodbath. There is carnage from all angles. And for now, I think it's appropriate. The humans still have a massive populace lead. But now we're starting to get to that time where I think we're going to see... We're already seeing it? Are we? No, we're gonna at some point see a huge amount of skeletons formed over here, and this is going to be huge. The humans are sitting on a ticking time bomb. They need to win this war faster or sooner rather than later. Although the orcs could kind of fall into a trap if they push up into this territory with all of their armies. You could see a situation where all of the orc army is corrupted and cursed, and when that happens, you could have a very bad situation in which they go into a battle, a couple die, and then it just cascades out of control from there. But as I said, I think it's time to go into a time lapse. I think we can afford sonic speed for at least a little while, and we'll check in whenever we see some movement either way. Alright, so there's some raiding armies in the background over here. They came via boats, and apparently now they're leaving. Well, damn. They came in, and you can see this entire kind of coastline. This kind of looks like Sweden. Sweden, what's the other one? Is it Sweden and Finland or Sweden and Norway? That's like kind of a peninsula like this. Either way, this coastal village is just completely destroyed, or coastal town, but the humans are making huge progress. They've taken the choke point again, and now they're pushing into the orcish territory. And the orcs, maybe they don't have enough to fight? I mean, never mind. Never doubt the dwarves on their ability to field an army. Still 345 versus 1,000. Oh my, no, they don't have enough. It's 3-to-1 ads. Ads? No, we're not talking about ads. Speaking of ad and the others, they're all still alive. 3 of each. None of them dying yet. 10 kills for Millie. Millie is a beast. Millie out here just killing fools. What, level 12? Level 12 might just be the max. Or maybe level 13 just requires ungodly amounts of experience. But the humans just making huge strides right now. And let's go ahead and go to ×5 for just a little bit while they continue to attack. See if this goes anywhere. The orcs are fielding enough to hold them here, it does seem. And man, the war is waging. This little death number down here is counting up rapidly. Let's go ahead and go to sonic speed and just continue to see how this all plays out. Oh my word, they made peace! Are you kidding me? Oh, the orcs, yet again, another diplomatic mastermind play. The orcs have made peace with the humans, and with that peace, the humans have annexed just a tiny bit of territory from the orcs, but the orcs get to rebuild. Is this just gonna be a huge blunder for the humans? They are still over 2-to-1 in population against the orcs. They are still in a massively stronger position. And as I said, you get one of those. The next time a war happens between these two nations, there is no going back. So if the orcs decide to declare war before being fully prepared again, or the humans do the opposite and decide to declare war while they still have an advantage, then that war is going to be permanent. They will just be at war. And yeah, that is a scary thought for the humans, because the orcs are catching up in population quick now. And the orcs, while down a massive amount of population, were winning. And okay, there we go. We have another war. We're gonna pause. We're turning off diplomacy. War is on the table, and war is going to be the name of the game. The orcs, that bought them enough time to gain back 1,000 population that they were down. Because they were down like 2,000 population. And okay, sonic speed, yeah, no, nah fam, don't want that. But do want like ×3, as we see one of the biggest battles ever. In fact, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna zoom out to right here, and we're just gonna have a time lapse of this battle because I think it'll look really cool. So the orcs are victorious in that battle. They push back all of the humans. Also, the orcs have been doing something I haven't really seen the humans do, and that is, in the last war, they were doing a lot of raiding of the background. Also, the orcs finally took their blessed island, and yet again, they're killing fairies and really causing themselves more problems than they deserve. I mean, not nearly as bad as the corrupted, in my opinion, but still kind of a blunder on the orcs for killing fairies. But man, the orcs are rolling over the human area in a wave again, but we saw this in the last war, and the human resolve really showed up. But this time, the humans don't just have a 2-to-1 advantage or a 3-to-1 advantage over the orcs. They are not massively ahead in population, and this is the war that ends it, and the orcs are just... Oh, the game froze. Okay. Don't adjust your monitors or anything, everybody. The game decided to freeze for some reason. But the orcs have now cut the human empire in two. That peace declaration was a massive blunder for the humans. They made the biggest mistake they possibly could have. Making peace with the orcs was a death sentence, because now the orcs are rolling through. They're ahead on population. They're better at fighting. And let's go ahead and check in on our favorites. And oh no, Molly has died. Or Millie. Millie has died, and she had the most kills. Millie the badass has died. Everybody else still alive, but it seems as though Ed and Ud have gotten into the combat a little bit. Either that or something else hurt them. Unfortunately for Millie, that's just how it goes. And yeah, it's starting to look bleak. It's not over for the humans yet, but they need a masterstroke in either tactics or strategy, or just getting lucky and the orcs doing something stupid. Not that orcs are not necessarily known for doing something stupid, but right now the orcs are gaining an advantage, and they haven't had one the entire game long. So... And also, they had a disadvantage. I fucked up with the biomes. The orcs are incredibly strong. And they're putting that on show for us right now. We're going to time-lapse until we have a victor, because this video is getting a little bit longer than I might have wanted it to be. And yeah, this is just... It's an amazing comeback by the orcs. Let's see if they can cleanly close it out or not. The human population is now declining rapidly. They've fallen below 2,000 for the first time in a very, very long time, while the orcs are on the precipice of 3,000 population. Let's turn off Sonic Speed, because there is a massive battle ensuing. Although... I say it's a massive battle, it's just a wave of green coming across the landscape and killing anything in its path. There's a couple of armies for the humans here, but it's not nearly enough. And I think that the orcs may just have this in the bag. Let's check on our favorites again. Everybody's still alive, nobody picking up kills. I guess they're all kind of just working in the mines. But unfortunately for the humans, that peace declaration... It was so short-lived, but it was just enough time for the orcs to rebuild and come back with a vengeance. And now the humans are falling apart and capitulating. Give it up for your victors. Give it up for the orcs. Capitalism has shown that orcs are the best fantasy race. I'd like to thank each and every one of you all for watching. Thank you to the Patreons, they support the channel. And if you want access to the videos just a little bit earlier, about 12 to 24 hours earlier for all members, go ahead and join the channel membership. Or not all members, there's 1 or 2 tiers where you don't get that benefit. But just check out the channel membership, helps out the channel a lot. If you are new to my channel, consider subscribing. You all are beautiful, and we're just gonna time-lapse to the end here. And yeah, this is Willow, signing off.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.